Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of the Backyard Sportscenter podcast. Today, we will be going over the 2001 league for the rBBL. It is season 11. It is finally here. I know there's a lot of excitement and hype. And today, to preview this wonderful season, got Wizard as always, and special guest Commissioner Crazyei8hts. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good. Always happy to be here.
You know, we wanted to have you on for a while since kind of been starting to do this new format. So finally happy to have you on. This is your second season as commissioner. So I know before you were just a league admin or a league official or however you want to call it. But you've been here since season 1, so I figured that would be a good place to start, is kind of like give a shorter version of kind of like how did everything get started as far as creating this amazing league that we have 11 seasons in now.
That's right. I'm the rBBL historian. I've been here for everything. The start was back in 2017, where actually I think we're about to hit the 6-year anniversary of the page or the server, because I think it was September. But yeah, in 2017 on the subreddit, Yuria made a post saying I had an idea for this pseudo fantasy league because people had just started learning how to mess with files and stuff. And then Schlim popped into that post and was like, "Oh, I know how to edit all these files. I can help you." And then I was like, "I love playing backyard baseball, so count me in," even though I didn't know anything about file editing. But yeah, so we were the core 3, and we started the Discord server. And then yeah, in season 1, there were only 5 people with 8 teams. Me, Yuria, and Schlim each had 2, and then the other 2 were Green Day Eagles, who was around a while but hasn't played in a couple years, and then RU Tyler, who's also not played for a couple years, but he's still around the server. He pops in every now and then. So those are the original 5. And me, Yuria, and Schlim are still here today, so it'll be hard to get rid of us.
We saw Tyler last played in 4, make a return in, was it 8? Season 8?
I think so. He was the Rangers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the team that had Pete Wheeler and the Cons.
Yeah.
And then I messaged.
That was a really good offensive team.
Yeah, I asked. Green Day was one of the old guard I messaged to try to get back for season 11, among others, Kiss and Mav and Chap. But everyone responded with either a yes or no except Green Day. So,
well, maybe he's moved on, but he's got his place in rBBL history as an inaugural member.
They'll be regretting it one day.
But yeah, the difference between season 1 and now is it's almost as if we're playing an entirely different game.
Do you feel like with all the advancements in just information and access to all the knowledge behind this game that it has lost some of its allure or its charm, or do you think that it has made for a better overall experience?
No, I think it's definitely improved the experience. When I was a kid, I always remember, I want to use that Zenon Estrada guy. He always hits home runs. And now we have the power to play with all the generics. I think that's awesome. And just the fact that we've got so many people who are still playing this game against each other. I think that's the best part, is that we got a whole community of people.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and I'm glad to hear that even Little Eights was a power hitting man, little man.
All right.
So when you were Little Eights, did you like Xenon over Chico?
I just remembered that, yeah, those were the 2 names in particular where I was like, oh, these guys always hit home runs. But then there are other names where you just remember the name. Like me and my sister, we would always make fun of the name Chrissy Mulligan because we thought it was just the dumbest name that a kid could have.
Poor Chrissy.
She would like to have a mulligan on that name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think I don't remember any generics, and I didn't. So I envy y'all in a way, but we asked Mello, and I think Star Moonbeam was one that he said that stood out to him as one of those names that are just real memorable.
She stands out right away because, man, this girl's fast.
Yep.
What's also though like the way that Sunny like pronounces it, it's like has like a different like tone and like tweak to it. Like it's like it stands out like how it was said in the voice acting.
The other thing about generics that I didn't fully put together until we got here is that there were a couple that when you looked at their stats, the batting, running, pitching, fielding, you would be like, oh, this looks just like some other player. Like Amanda Hellerman, I knew that hers looked just like Randy Johnson, but I didn't realize that
Mhm.
she was actually Randy Johnson exactly down to
Mhm.
the height and all that. But yeah, until we got the big leak of all the players and their stats, didn't really put it all together.
Yeah, you were a lot better at looking for those patterns as a kid than I was. I was just putting together super teams and winning by 20 runs.
Well, I guess the patterns kind of fits with your math brain.
That's true. And that's still how I think of everybody. I still think of them in their batting, running, pitching, fielding.
Me too. You think in card numbers?
Yeah.
Yes, I still don't really fully understand the speed tiers and just haven't looked at it long enough to care. I just know, yeah, they're kind of a middle speed fast, 7 balls. And seven and is it 6 and 7 that are the same or 7 and 8 that are the same? Like they aren't, there's no differentiation.
I think it's 7 and 8, but I still think of eights as being faster.
Of course, it is. It's one greater.
Yeah, exactly. The other dumb thing I would do is I like the ones that look aesthetic, like Sally Dobbs, all sevens. That's a crispy good player card right
Yeah, it is.
there.
Is there any others that you know of that have all the same ball ratings?
I think that's the only one until we made Vinny the Gooch the custom player. He's 8888.
Wonder why that was the case.
Ezra
It was not
Travolta.
a tribute to me.
Ezra's 3 6s and a 9, but I don't know that anyone else even has 3 of the same.
It'd be a good question for.
I think.
Well, I take that back. 1-1-1
Oh, yeah,
Ivan
that's
and
true. Yeah.
Quentin, but
I think. Oh, I think it might be Andres Ibsen, who's like 6'3", 3'3", but that was not as good as the other way around.
And there's a lot that have like 2 the same.
yeah,
10 batting and 10 running. That's the bestest thing.
that's it. Oh yeah, the big 4 all have 3 10s.
Oh yeah.
Well, in the original one, they have all 4s. Or no, actually, do they? Because I think, or is it 4-4-3-4 or 4-4? Yeah, 4-4-3-4.
I actually have never played the original one, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh my gosh. Our commissioners never played the original.
What?
Nah, I'm all about the 01 and 03. I think the only
So,
time I ever
hey,
played the original one.
Did you stop after 03 or did you play any of the other ones?
No, I didn't. I didn't go past those. I think the only one I had where they changed all the appearances was backyard hockey. And I was like, oh, these guys look different. I don't like it.
yeah, 05 was a good game, but the 03, like 97, 01, 03 sprites are just far superior.
Yeah,
It's
too classic.
Yeah, too classic. Do you feel like we have had, because I know obviously in 5 we still had some of the folks from back when, but do you feel like the retention rate of coaches has been due to the better overall experience or just because of the sheer volume of coaches, it is a relative retention rate?
I think it's usually around the same. Usually, like I would say a little more than half of new players play a second season, but then half of those play a third season, half of those. And then there's just always one or two that keeps going. Because like somebody was curious, they asked in the server about what was everybody's first season. And then I looked it all up and I typed it all out. And from seasons 1 to like 7 or 8, each season had like 2 or 3 or 1 names that are still around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
But
it's just me and Marco now from my season. Boz was too, but we haven't seen his return yet.
And if there's always just some things that'll polarize the community, and some will stay and some won't. Like when we split into 01 and 03, maybe some people didn't like that. Or when we got rid of the cheese, some people didn't like that.
Kiss.
But you can't please everybody. So.
For sure. Kiss almost came back this season. He said he was going to, but Maybe next year.
I will give it to Kiss that he did play a season or two with no cheese. And he made the
Yeah,
playoffs at least once.
he played 6, 7, and 8. I think
Yeah.
8 was his last year, or was 7 his last year?
I think it might have been 7.
I think he
Okay,
lost
yes.
to Mello and yeah, he lost to Mello.
Yeah,
I think
7.
that
You're
might
right.
have been the
That Cubs team was his last team.
Nans Gambit
Yeah.
series, I believe. No, it's his last one.
What's your stance on what we now call pace rules versus Lulu rules? Like, do you have a preference? Do you think that there's a space for both, in either side seasons or whatever? Like, what's kind of your take on that?
I like the way that it is now. Because when you say no rules, do whatever you want, then there's some people that know how to score 100. Some people that don't know how to do that. So it just the reason we stopped allowing all that funky business is because some people had just mastered it, and yeah, you had to score 50 to hang with these guys. So I like that the Lulu rule set makes it more competitive for everyone, and it's harder to master the game.
I'm with you.
But if some sadists want to do a side season where all bets are off, they can have fun with that.
Yeah, it's so sweaty. I was just so sweaty after all those games.
The other thing about that is one of the big strategies of all bets are off rule set is that you just tire out the other team. So if you can figure out how to break all their stamina, then you basically win. So if we use the B file mod where everybody has infinite stamina, but other than that, you could do whatever cheesy tactics you want, then it might not be so runaway.
I agree.
That might be an interesting side season right there.
Because after whatever X runs, and if you're cheesing them, like they do just break, catch it, no arms.
I don't know if I would play in it, but I would be definitely interested to see how it would turn out.
Yeah,
I would have to think about it.
Yes. So there's so many different like variations and rules with all that you could possibly have for side seasons. Like we just had the name games, which had the infinite stamina mod that you just talked about, and then we had summer ball or winter ball, which had the errors off, which is kind of always interesting tactic there.
I'm sure somebody creative could come up with many more variations and rule sets. There was one a few years ago that Jibbo hosted. It was roulette where everybody just randomly got a team and then you had to play like everybody played all 3 games all on the same day. It was like one Saturday where everybody just played all the games and he was giving live updates as to all the results. And that one was pretty cool.
It's always fun to see those. And I thought really both the one you ran and Ace ran were, and I didn't play any either, but really cool concepts. I loved yours because it's just like, it's kind of a pattern concept, and I like that. And then Ace's was just like, make you think rule set, which I also like. I mean, the fact that people were losing runs regularly was just so funny to me. Probably so frustrating.
It was frustrating.
The idea of name games came about, well, once because G. Schlim made that his team one year. But the real idea was that if you have everybody already in subsets, then you don't have to draft. That's the one thing, because like the rBBL draft takes a week. But this, you just pick a letter and there's your team. So
that's a good point.
I wanted something where you didn't have to spend so much time drafting and you just play.
Did you pre-build the teams, or did you just allow that? Like, what were the number splits? Was there any, or were there any letters with more than 9 players?
If the letter had more than 9, you could pick whoever you wanted. But if the letter had more than 18, then you had to share it with somebody else.
Got it.
And then they did a 2-player draft.
I think strategically not pick anything with over 18 then.
I think Jay had more than 18 and it was still really good. even after splitting in half.
Of course, has Jerry in it.
Because that was who won the whole thing. Yeah, Lil Waz had Jay, and he shared it with Cons, a first-timer. And I think Lil Waz knew a little bit more about what he wanted than Cons did. So
Hasn't Cons subbed for us before?
No, he has not. Okay. He's been around the server for a little bit, but Name Games was his first action. Okay. He streamed his own personal stuff before. Maybe that's what
Yeah, it might be.
Anyway, shall we get to 01?
Yeah, yes, we can get to 01 unless you have any other rBBL stories or math stuff you wanted to talk about.
I'm sure something will remind me along the way.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, let's get into it. You wanted to talk go by division, so you want to start with the AL West then?
All right, let me pull up my spreadsheet here. AL West. Ah, yes, the Sandy division. We have two teams that chose sand and a third one that chose sand and regretted it and gave it up right away. And then we have you.
Me?
You're the only non-sand believer.
No, I hate sand. Even though I had like one of my best games against them at sand last season.
Yeah, 1 game tolerable, 7 games not so much. Actually, those two guys will have to play 8 because they'll have to play their road game against each other at Sandy Flats also.
I guess I'll have to survive 2 sandy games.
All right, perhaps we should go in alphabetical order as they're listed there. First team is Schlimm's St. Louis Blue Jays. Not the St. Louis Blues, but close. All right. He made a statement.
And actually, it's kind of very disappointing that St. Louis Blue Jays and not a single player that Slim drafted starts with the letter B.
Well, they are the Blue Jays, not the Blue Bees.
And Chipper.
I guess that's true though. He does have 2 J's, so I'll actually give him a pass.
But yeah, Slim making a big statement with Pete Wheeler, first overall, second 0-1 season in a row where that's been the case. But,
it's a really good team on paper.
The one thing I don't like about this team is that everybody has low 80s power,
right?
Which is like not enough to be a reliable home run bat. So he better hope he can hit the gap.
And they don't run that well outside of Pete. So on sand, hopefully Sean and Chipper and Burnett's are putting those balls in the gap. Jorge.
Yeah.
Over the log.
The other thing, too, that sticks out to me, I'm assuming Mary catches. And on sand, she's not getting to anything, hardly.
Yeah, but you also have, the batters who run are also slower. So does it cancel out?
I guess it just depends on how far past her they hit it.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on who's running.
Yeah. But like if everybody's on sand, then everybody's slower than normal. But then this is where the speed tiers come into play, and then Wizard and I haven't studied those
no, at all.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, the highest running is a 7 outside of Pete.
Maybe he's thinking on sand you're going to be slow anyway, so you don't have to prioritize speed. I don't know. The one thing I heard from Schlim is that he has a bunch of left-handed batters because both the right center gap, Sandy's huge, and is it a puddle pool lake in the deep in right field there? I guess that's what he's going to be aiming for. Because if Chipper's up, then if Chipper's batting lefty that game, then you got 6 left-handed batters in
He better hope he gets it there, though, because otherwise he might get thrown out at first base.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, that's what he was saying. If a bunch of people put their worst outfielder in right field, then that's what he'll pick on.
That's an interesting strategy.
He's deep with pitching arms, or at least high relief prio. I'm assuming Stefano starts.
I think so. But the next 2 relievers, Sean and Melissa, their RP points are so close together that it's almost a coin flip as to which one's going to come in next. Because you tire yourself out with one big throw, and then suddenly it puts the other one in instead.
And Melissa's probably at first.
I think he would probably hope that Melissa would go before Sean.
Is she going to play first, or is he playing Jorge at first?
No, yeah, I think she plays first base.
So, yeah, it's not bad. I like it. Good, solid arms, most, obviously. And I think the bats will be fine. Just knowing what kind of pop those 82, 83 bats, like, they don't run terribly. So as long as he's not hitting it right to people, I think he'll be fine.
The one other advantage I think he has here is he is explicitly stated that Pete Wheeler is the center fielder and not the left fielder. And center field in Sandy Flats is huge, so.
Yep, he's going to catch everything.
He's going to take away a lot of extra bases at his home park.
Yep, that is definitely for sure. Yeah, Pete's going to have be very annoying at Sandy.
And he'll have to be, because who else is going to be out there with him? Sean probably, but that's one of his relievers. Chipper's not going to be out there. Chipper's probably at short.
I think the other outfielders, because I've been talking with
Fr-
Sean. I think
French,
the other outfielders are Burnett's and Friend.
not Green. Okay, which isn't awful, but that's a slow outfield outside of Pete. But he'll just run over
If
there and
Pete
catch
can get
it.
to it before the other ones do,
Yep.
then he'll just catch it.
Exactly. Yep.
So what do you guys have any record prediction for Slim? I know Crazy's probably gonna say 0-14.
I do my record predictions each season, but I think I'll have to look at every team first. We'll just say everybody is 7-7.
Oh yeah, you do have your predictions that you give out. Yeah, so
We'll have to keep the people coming back.
yeah. Yeah, I think that it's a good team. Slim always is around. It seems like since at least the seasons that I've been a part of, always seems to be around 500, hovering around there.
I think in the chat the other day, A's said that Slim is the streakiest player he knows. Yeah, sometimes Slim is on it, and other times he's beaten the AI by 1. Well, I think the key for Slim here is to not get frustrated. If he's got a bad game, he's got to put it behind him and keep going.
Good thing he picked Sandy.
He wants to frustrate opponents and not himself.
Yeah, this is back-to-back seasons for Slim and Sandy too, isn't it?
Yep, I'm gonna say Slim at 7-7, just 'cause it seems like he's always around there. He might go 6-8, he might go 8-6, but I'm gonna say 7-7.
All right, we'll see it.
This is a tough division.
Yeah, do you have any prediction?
Let's go through the other teams before
Okay.
division.
Yeah,
prediction.
I don't have my notes like last year, so I haven't studied everyone.
I'm making notes on the fly.
Okay, I'm not. All right, so next we got Mattitude.
Yeah, Matt.
Well, are y'all going off the divisions chart or the left column, the D column chart?
The divisions are listed. The divisions are listed in alphabetical order by person, so that's what we're going by.
Okay, yeah. So Matt, the other Sandy team, the Fishes, which
This
is
one's
fitting for the Fishes to play at Sand.
This one's I think this one's kind of a joke, but not a full joke. He's gonna try, but he's not expecting to win it all.
He's putting all his energy into the online league. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, his last pick was Thor Herring. He just did that just to be funny.
Right. Huh.
Which is funny.
Matt is a really good player, but he likes to have his fun little memes too. So
I think he might run into the same problem as Schlim, where he's at Sandy Flats and the power hitters aren't super power hitters except for Griffin.
I thought it was big bats don't work at Sandy Flats though.
I mean, you can hit considerable home runs to left field because it's the same shape as those other ones. It's the
true.
same shape as
Scrapco,
Playground Commons. Yeah, except for the Bermuda Triangle behind the log. Other than that, it's about the same shape. So hitting it out to left is possible.
True.
But we know Matt likes to hit home runs, as we saw with his team last season.
I mean, he's got 3 righties that can do it, in Dobbs and Piazza and Keisha, and then obviously Matt and Griffey name a better duo. So who catches? Tony?
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
It has to be Tony.
You got Griffey and Keisha in the outfield, probably Kendall shortstop, Piazza 1 bag. Who's pitching? Paco or Thor?
He submitted his lineup already. I have it here as I get all the insider.
Yeah.
So the outfield is Kendall, Keisha, Ron, and then around the infield you got Robbie at third, Griffey at short, Paco at second, Piazza at first base, and then Tony catching and Thor pitching.
So I'm assuming Paco's at 2 bag because he's of his relief prio.
Relief party, and he's got no arm.
Yeah, but I mean, I get that, but I feel like that speed, I don't know. I don't feel like he's a good enough offensive player. Well, maybe that's the move. I put him in the outfield just because he's fast, but yeah, that arm is rough. Ronnie's gonna catch nothing out there.
In away games, Paco will be a good get on base guy. Sandy Flats.
True.
Sandy Flats not so.
Paco third, super viable. I love him and Uno. So what's Griffey short? I like too, and Kendall will be fine out in the outfield. What is the deal with Tony catcher? Somebody has brought this up.
He's got 100 arm and 92 aggression, and he doesn't come into pitch very often.
So that's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I thought people didn't like it, but
No, Tony's one of the best AI catchers.
yeah, stamina's a little, but that's it. Yeah. I mean, it looks fine. And honestly, they run without, obviously no Pete. They run as good as Schlimm's team with a couple downsides and a little bit more power. So I think it works. I'm not as low on Ronnie as a lot of people, but in the outfield seems scary.
I think Thor pitching right away, you kind of limit some of his upside defensively because of that cannon for an arm.
But he's a 1 speed on sandy flats, so if you hit it to him, he can't get to it.
That's true, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how like the relief kind of goes, because also Thor only has 30 stamina, so it'll be interesting to see defensively how this team goes.
I find it funny that Thor Herring has an insane fielding arm, but his heat is only a 6 out of 100, and he throws a 100 slow ball.
It's a different mechanic. It's
his other arm he uses in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so he goes Thor into Paco at 2-bag, which obviously that's where you want to hide somebody like that. I mean, there's nowhere to hide him, and then into Ronnie, who's probably a corner outfielder. So Paco ends up out there anyway. It's not. I really don't think it's terrible. I mean, Thor is. I'm sure Nate can relate. That's a hole in itself. But having Ivan last year.
No, he didn't have Ivan last year.
Ivan did great last year for online.
Oh, online.
Oh yeah. Wait. Who didn't
Jimbo.
have Ivan?
Jimbo had Ivan.
Oh yeah.
Nobody took Ivan this year, sadly.
Yeah.
Another season.
Not me. Not for me.
That's why I took him in online.
Yeah,
So I didn't care if I won.
All right. So Matt, the Sandy teams are okay. 8 says not enough power. What did we expect?
Yeah, you could have all the top power hitters at Nate's would still want more power.
No, I think this team will like playing on the road more than.
I think this team can definitely put up some runs. It's gonna depend on how well can the defense hold. So we'll see how it goes. Is that it for Matt's team for now until we get to the division wrap up?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. On to your Braves, Nate.
Yep. This team Ace helped me.
Boo.
The majority of it. I know some people didn't like that, but gotta have try to get any advantage I can, right? I got the Walker. I don't have the lineup submitted, but I have what I want defensively, so I'll be able to kind of explain. So I was gonna have Lubel at catcher, K at short, Wally in center, Maya at third, Julian at first, Liz. I think I have it at Liz in left. I think Chad I had in right.
Third?
I think I had
Jomar third, Jerry second.
No, Maya's at third.
Oh.
I think I had it was
Catcher.
like, who do I put at? I think Jomar
Lubel.
had it second.
Jerry on the mound.
And Jerry on the mound. I think that's how I was initially kind of thinking it through. Only thing is, do I want Jomar in right or Chad at second? That's the one I'm kind of flipping on. Because it's going to go Jerry, Chad, Jomar as far as the relief.
At
It's
least
kind of where you... Yeah. I think you kind of want to... It's really just where you want Jerry to end up, right? More than anything.
Yeah. I think I want Jerry to end up at second, maybe. So maybe I go Jomar in right, Chad at second. I think that's what. That's why. Yeah, because I wanted Jerry at second instead of Jerry in right. Yeah.
You could start Jerry at second.
I could do that, and then have Chad pitch?
Chad or Jomar.
Or Jomar.
Probably Chad, and then Jomar right field.
I guess I'll have to think about that.
Are you happy with it?
I'm happy with this team. I think I'm at Parks, so I'll be able. I think it has a good amount of good, well-rounded team. Got some speed. Got some. Don't have like the best power. I think that's like the one thing that I would say is like the biggest knock on it. Not the greatest power and not the best stamina are the two weaknesses, I think. But I think it's a solid B+ roster, and I definitely can score some runs with this team.
Johnny Omar is the 9th round pick, correct?
Yep.
Okay, because the ADP is what they're sorted by here, and he's above Jerry, but I thought it was reversed. Because Jerry can hit some bombs without the aid of power-ups.
Yep, that was my reasoning for that.
Yeah. You actually sniped me on Jerry. I was going to take Jerry if he had fallen.
Me too. I was going to take Jerry.
Well, you're a Jerry stan, so we know that.
Jerry, I'll never have Jerry again. He's going to he'll go higher and higher every year.
The funny thing is, like, I've never drafted Jerry before, but I have Jerry in both leagues.
That's Ace Wilson winner, Jerry.
Yeah, it's true. He is the reigning 03 Ace Wilson winner.
Winchell, right?
Yeah, I have Geropoly.
Yeah, you sure do.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be. I got a lot of good players that I like. I've never had Jomar before because that's what I was thinking about. Like as far as like the 9th rounder, because I was debating between having Dominic, Jomar, and if there was another one that I can't remember who the third one was. Oh, it was one of the Weber clones. That's what it was. And like the Weber clones were like good because of like the stamina, but I wasn't like totally like thrilled with that. And then I was thinking Dominic for the pitching, and I'm used to him. But then I figured, kind of wanted to try out Jomar. I figured that Jomar would be the fun pick, so pick Jomar because I figured that would be fun. I might regret this totally halfway through the season, but we'll see.
I think it was H that told me. I don't remember, and correct me if I'm wrong. Like I asked about Jomar or something, and they were like, "There's just a lot of people that do what he does with the 4 Weber clones and the Jorge clones." It's just, which I think it's just the lore behind him is kind of what makes him so interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to the other Nate.
The original Nate. Yeah.
And Nate, you're at where? You're at Parks, you said. So, all right. Any other thoughts on the Braves?
So a lot of good arms.
Yes. I had that at Parks last year, and it helped me. So I definitely think, Wally's going to cover a lot of ground out there.
Yes, what do you guys think about my team? You're going to roast me.
I don't know if there's anything to roast you on. Looks pretty well-rounded.
Yep.
Just have fun on those 2 games at St.
Fingers crossed.
Go, Jerry.
Then the last team in the division is Toast. You got Julie. Ooh, that's going to be tough. Alex Rodriguez, Hellcat, Dante, Beltran, Sheila, Petra, Tracy, and Mickey for the 9th rounder.
I think once again, 01 is going to be Toast's team that he doesn't care about, and 03 is the one he's going to put all his effort in. That was true last season because he didn't draft the 01 team and he was just a substitute. But this time, you can even tell this team's not the Twins, and that's his favorite team. The 03 one is the Twins. He's going to care about them. Not that this team is going to be bad.
No, it'll be fine. Where is he at? Tin Can?
Cement Gardens.
Cement.
Oh, yeah, he's the only Cement Gardens team in all of 01.
Well, I mean, that'll help with 4 of those runners being pretty rough, but it looks fine. Nothing crazy. If he can get some people on base, he's got those 2 big power bats. So we figure he starts Hellerman. So Dunkel goes, where does he play Dunkel? Or does he start Dunkel into Hellerman?
That would be interesting.
I'd probably do that because otherwise you stick Amanda somewhere. You can still get I don't know, because then you got to hide Hellerman for 5 runs or whatever, like depending on where you want Julie to go. You don't want to gas Amanda in center field, though.
Hellerman first base, Julie pitching.
And then you get the speedy first baseman at least. Because I assume Sheila and Carlos, well, maybe Carlos plays short again. Whoever ran that last year, was that Viz?
I think that was, Viz on the 03 side.
That was viable. Sheila and Dante probably both play the outfield. Petra two-bag. Tracy catch. Where does Mickey play?
Mickey has to play like second or right.
Good Lord, that's a slow outfielder.
Maybe Mickey's the starting pitcher.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. So you push Julie to third reliever or third in, because I'm assuming, Sheila, Dante, Mickey maybe, or Sheila, Dante out there. A-Rod at third or short.
But if you have Mickey, then where do you put Julie or Hellerman though?
Luckily, that's Toast's problem and not ours.
That's it.
Yep. This team is gonna have a problem with the bottom half of their lineup, and as far as like where they place them.
I'm not like, I don't love this construction. The defense kind of scares me.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what he goes with for the.
What do you? I think A-Rod maybe plays left or short.
I think Beltran and A-Rod are on the left side of the infield. That's just what I think. But
yeah, she has Sheila and Dante like in center and left. I'm interested to see what he decides to do for his defense.
Well, I'm just glad that we will get at least one game on the 0-1 side where we get to have cocktails together. And I get to come up with something different because he always has the Twins. Well, I guess he had the Padres last year when he took them over for Benjaminian. But the Rockies this year, that'll be fun. All right.
This will be an interesting team to see how that goes. So that's the division. The AOS, Slim, Matt, me, and Toast. All veterans. This is going to be a tough division. No rookies allowed.
I think the edge in this division is going to the Braves, just from what we've seen today. But I think Slim's got a chance if everybody hates coming to the sand, and he can have a good record at home.
Yeah, I want to say that I would win this division, but I could see pretty much anyone winning it, to be honest, depending on how the out goes. Especially Slim.
Yeah, I would predict Braves, Blue Jays, Rockies, Fishes in that order.
That's probably what I would lean towards as well.
I better type this out before I forget.
Though Toast might surprise. Toast is a good player, so I would not be surprised if he's like totally kills it with this team or something.
He made some noise with the Padres once he kind of
figured it out. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he still didn't care, but he won a few big games. So, all right.
What's the next division, Wizard?
On to the AL Central. AL Central. Team 1 in this going to be defending champion Freak Show. And so Freak Show, he returns with the Humongous Astros. Wasn't that Bobby?
No. Bobby was the Texas Astros on the other side.
That's right. Okay. Yep. So Freak Show's Astros return right at the top here. And I know for anyone that listened to the JY Ace recap, they kind of touched on Ace helping with that. Freak Show and I kind of spitballed a little bit on his team too. He was really trying to recreate his championship team, but obviously with 2 additional teams, that was impossible. So he has kind of piecemealed together some version of that. He kind of brought back a core of that team with Cal and Walker and Dawson, Uno, and then put some different pieces around them. So yeah, so they have their core back. They're at TCA, and so he really just wanted a bunch of people that could hit the wall, and I think he kind of has that. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Markey is really, and he wasn't super high on him, but I think he's going to play 1 bag as the plan or start there. But everyone else can pretty much hit the wall. So it's going to be good at tees.
I thought Markey was going to be the starting pitcher.
He might have changed that. I know that he was back and forth.
Because with the Cal Ripken boost, Markey's got 100 stamina.
Which is so nice. He probably should. And then is he going Walker catcher, Walker short? No, he probably goes Faye short.
I think Walker's the catcher because that's what he had last season.
Yeah, Walker catcher, Faye short. And I know he was. I kind of tried to talk him into I used a 2 height last year with good arms, and it wasn't awful at 2 height at first base because using Cal there seems to be kind of like a waste. So, but no one runs that well, but I mean, decent arms, good bats. I think it's a well-rounded team that he put together, and he's a proven player. So,
The one mistake in the draft that he could not undo is that he knew he was going to be gone and his pick was coming up, and he wanted a power hitter, so he said, just give me Joella. And then later he was like, oh, I wanted Perry, but I thought Perry was going to be gone already. He should have said Perry. He should have prepared for anything. So then he was trying to trade Joella for Perry straight up, and the guy who had him was like, no thanks.
Yep. He looked at that arm and said, no, I'm good.
Joella's big weakness is that she is not Gary Allen.
Well, but she won't be awful at TCA. I mean, because defensively, you got 7 games where you don't have to rely on her. But I know they were talking about it in the recap yesterday. It's like, where do you can't put her in center, because then anywhere else, if she's not at Ekman or Steel or TCA, it turns into a black hole.
I think the biggest weakness for this team is going to be the pitching. So this seems pretty weak on the pitching side, like outside of Markey. Yes, Yvonne is a good sub, but other than that, like after 5 to 10 runs, it's kind of like your next pitcher is going to put a hole somewhere. And I think this team is going to need to score. This team's biggest strength is that they can put up some runs. So they're going to have to put up some runs. I think they're going to give up some runs.
Well, we know Freak Show can put up runs.
Yeah.
Especially at Tinky and Alley,
Yeah.
so I don't think that'll be a problem.
Yep. All right.
It's going to just depend on how many runs can they hold other teams to.
Mm-hmm. All right, who's next?
Up next is Question Monkey. The Pirates have moved once again. They don't have a solid fan base. They got to keep moving. They moved to Anaheim.
I know this is kind of random, but I forget who it was. There's this MLB player that has like the last name of Heim.
Jonah Heim.
And I forget what team it was, but like on there is this picture that was going viral on the scoreboard that said like has a daughter, did not name her Anna.
No, I think it was the Angels that did that because they're Anaheim.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny. That was clever. I like that. I had a good laugh at that one.
The one thing that gets me about this Pirates team here, I think QM did this last season too. Like all throughout the draft, he would draft people and then like try to trade them right away, or he would trade for other people that have already been drafted, and then like Mikey Thomas, Mikey Thomas got drafted by the A's, and then QM traded for him, and then said Mikey Thomas is back on the trade block. So I don't know why he always does this, but he seems to draft and then figure out the players he wants later.
Indecision?
Maybe
Buyer's remorse?
Maybe he's questioning Monkey.
I like that. I've never really understood the player for draft slot capital trades. I just think it's really hard to make that value work or make it make sense, or at least to me. So maybe I'm just a smooth brain, but I've never understood those trades.
Yeah, in my perspective, the players I draft are the players I want, so I don't want to give them up.
Amen.
But anyway, this team's got Chico, so I like it.
Same. I mean, he's got 2 elite power bats.
Mm-hmm.
And Bonds.
Now, does Bonds and Chico kind of cancel each other out because Bonds is like cursed or something?
Well, we'll see if they break the curse this year.
His team has a lot of players that I like, though.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some good defensive pieces too. Some good arms. So are we Butch catcher? Mikey catcher.
Probably Mikey.
Stephanie one bag.
Yeah, he has the relief, the high relief points to allow Mikey to be at catcher, but Mikey would be the 4th option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless he tires himself. So I'm throwing Chico in center every time. Speed, good eye. Does Bonds get another look at shortstop this year? He's probably got Wing in the outfield no, he probably doesn't. He probably has Bonds in the outfield too.
No, because Wing's going to be the reliever if Beatty is pitching. And you don't want to put
Right.
Beatty in the outfield.
Yeah, that's true. So wing two bet. Well, where do you put Terry then? Because maybe Pamela and Butch on the left side of the infield, and then Barry, Chico, and Terry in the outfield.
Yeah, maybe Terry is the crappy right fielder that Schlim said he's going to pick on.
Yeah, that's right. At Sand, especially.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do. I think the problem with Bonds is that people don't utilize him correctly, because Bonds is basically kind of like Jeter in a way, but people don't use him like Jeter.
You got to forget about the real person that he's based on.
Right.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, Bonds in this game is basically like closer to Jeter. So if you use Bonds like Jeter, you can probably do pretty well, but everyone tries to go power.
I might actually Stephanie in the outfield.
So that you get Beatty at first base after the switch.
Yeah. Or even if you don't want to play Stephanie at shorter third. It's probably Butch and Pamela on the left side, and I'd probably play wing at first and Stephanie in the outfield because she'll be fine out there. She won't be awful.
Fun fact, as I'm looking at this roster here, never noticed this before, but Chico Papas and Barry Bonds have the same pitching stats.
Interesting.
They both can throw that right hook.
Oh yeah.
So were you thinking Wing Kwang starts at first base and then comes in for Beatty after 5 runs?
That's what I would do with this. I just think with those tall pitchers, having I'm not saying you can always move them to first base, but like if you can get them to first base, they're at least tall, even if they're slow.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wing would go to
she'd go to the out. Yeah, she'd go to right where Stephanie is. That's probably what I would do.
Yeah, and then have Terry at second.
Yeah, and I will never draft Terry Vega again, but he's not for me. I hope he has a great season with the Pirates, but he was not for me and my team. So
yeah, someone needs to draft the Perry, Jerry, Terry trio.
Yep.
You can make a whole team of names that rhyme with that.
Do we have Carey? Oh, Larry.
There's 2 Barrys, Bonds and
Mary.
I think there's 8, and then you can stretch it by using Chipper Jones' real name, which is Larry.
Yeah, okay. I like that. Let's look at ADPs for next season and sell Jibbo on this.
Only works in 01 though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll sell Schlim on it. I like this team. I think it's solid. They're at Playground, so it's like, I think it works.
You could hide someone in left for the home games.
I don't like that when you can't change your lineup though, because then you just end up getting screwed.
I've a take on that. I think people have been recently saying that your left fielder needs to be able to cover all this ground. That's really only at Cement Gardens. Anywhere else, center field is way bigger.
Yeah, I've never
except Steel and Cement. Everywhere else, center field is more important to cover than left field.
Yep. Well, TCA, but we don't even count that as a real field. I've never understood that. Now, the one thing I will say, and I don't know if PZ is going to be mad at me, and we didn't talk about this, but one thing he did last year with his World Series team, which I thought worked really well, was he put his 2 elite speeds in left and right and surrounded. He had Uno in center and had Pete and Grace in left and right. And I thought that worked really well because they covered the gaps. But if you don't have 2 elite speeds, I don't think that works.
Oh, you're talking about Person Izzle's team?
Yes. He had Grace in right and Pete in left and Uno in center. And it was hard to get balls down against that team.
That's an interesting strategy. So I guess we'll have to keep an eye out for that to see if that strategy gets more popular as the seasons go on.
There's an 01 team that we'll talk about that might be trying that this year.
Wonder whose team that is. Who's next in the division?
Schwilly. Nate?
Online World Series member for the first time. So shout out to make sure if you are a fan of the online league that you check that out. That should be happening pretty soon. I don't I think that actually might be happening. Game 1 might be happening tonight as we're recording this. Gotta check. Let's see here. No, tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern is going to be the Game 1 and possibly Game 2 of the World Series for the BBOL. So that is Schwilly versus Killer Bet. That should be really, really good series. I'm really excited to look forward to that.
Shameless plug.
Yes. I got to plug everything. So I'm part of everything. It's part of the job.
This team is really good, in my opinion.
So is this team at Steel then?
Yeah.
Since this is Ernie Steele at Steel.
I thought it was interesting that this team traded for Mr. Clanky after he had been drafted. I don't know what they're planning to do with him.
Yeah. Mike took Clanky, right?
No, it was, well, in the other one he did. But in this one, it was Schlim.
Oh.
And then I think their trade was Clanky for Chipper Jones. Centered around that. Might have been another one involved. Some picks.
Yeah. Because, I think Clanky, I've wanted Chipper every year. The 10 stamina just scares me. I don't know what y'all, I feel like this is a really good team. I know he loses that speed with his last 2 picks, but obviously Ryan, so he catches Ryan probably, and that stamina.
Would he start
Ooh.
Ryan, but put Clanky at catcher, but then not know that Clanky's one aggression will make him not throw out any runners? I don't want him to accidentally do that.
No, well, and that you can't catch Ryan because
then, I guess Leah would theoretically because Clanky always subs back in because of his perfect stamina.
Yeah, I think you go Ryan 3-bag, but then who catches? Vlad catch. Let Vlad catch.
That could work.
Vlad catch, Ryan 3-bag. Eepson can I don't know if you want him at short. You don't want both the 3 speeds next to each other, really. But Arlene and Holly can play anywhere. Does Ernie pitch or does Ernie play first base?
I'd assume Ernie plays first base.
Yeah. Rachel 2-bag. Holly and Leah in the outfield somewhere.
I'm wondering if he's going to have Rachel play center.
I just don't like that play, man. You only get your 7 regular season games. What happens when you get to Super Colossal or Big City?
You got some big aspiration for these Cardinals there.
Well, I would hope he's thinking like that. Obviously, you got to think down the road just in case.
Yeah. I would probably put Arlene in center.
Yeah, I think that plays Holly and right, Leah in left.
But then if you put Leah in left and then she and Clanky switch.
That's not the worst thing.
I think the scariest thing is he's got those 2 3 speeds and they're fine, but you can't put them next to each other. You can't put them at third and short.
Maybe third and second.
But then where do you play Rachel? Right field?
Tough one.
Okay. I still like this team, but I think that's the one issue.
There's a lot of players that I like.
Me too.
I just think that I think what he drafted. Okay, I like this player, but didn't think about the fit.
Yeah, the AI puzzle. It's still a little bit of a puzzle.
And I think that's the hardest thing for online players to get accustomed to is the puzzle of it.
God, they're doing the 6-piece 2-year-old puzzle right now. We used to do the 1,000-piece. My brain hurt every draft season those first 3 years.
Yep.
I was so anxious the whole time. I think it works. I think he can't catch Ryan, though. I think Ryan 3-bag. Because then if Clanky does happen to go to 3-bag, I think that works, too.
Yeah.
Good to have you, Schwilly.
Yeah, I think this team is definitely going to do well offensively. It's just going to depend on how well the AI does. Their top 4 is really going to be really good offensively.
All right.
So next up is your buddy Wizard.
Yeah, Little Bombers, not the Junior Bombers, because they'll never play again.
I think Silver Bullet. He's got his 2 teams, and I don't think he was able to keep track of who was on which one when he was drafted.
I think he started this. Go ahead.
It's another case of just picking whoever's best available, but not thinking about the bigger picture.
Yeah, I think he started this team. This team started really strong. Probably first 5. And Gwyn, Delvecchio, like Brett Olson, Dom, like I think they're all fine players, but like you said, fit. And I think the first 5 is a great core. But Libby, well, any team with Sammy Sosa can win games. How about that?
Well, this is another Steel Stadium team, so he's got some bomb hitters.
Yeah, which was different from his Steel team from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sammy is definitely gonna have to hit some home runs. But you got Mandy, Libby, Angela. Now, what do you do with Angela defensively, though? That's always the big question.
She has to
she's
pitch.
gotta be she gotta be a strong pitcher, I suppose.
And then Mandy Two-Bag.
This team might be the deepest pitching rotation.
Literally, yeah, because and it's nice. He could use Kristen at shortstop, and she doesn't come in until 4th.
He's got no more though to play shortstop.
Well, true. Well, then do you catch Kristen? No, surely he just catches Sosa, so he doesn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Third base, right or left field
for Kristen.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Left would be fine because Brett can play shortstop. He doesn't have that many great arms because, one of them's going to be used at catcher, and then Kristen's the other one, and she comes in for, it sucks having to use your second best arm in left field, but...
Libby first base.
Where's Tony play?
Or do you put Gwyn at first and then Libby at, third?
I think I'd just rather have Gwyn at third. The same arm, and I know you don't need a ton of speed over there. What about Libby shortstop?
Are you out of your mind?
Yes, I am. I'm trying to put this team together, man. Because Dom, where does Dom play right field?
I think so, right field, yeah.
I think if you put Sammy catcher, Kristen third base, Nomar shortstop, Brett Olson second base, you got a nasty infield, and then just worry about the outfield later because it's Steel Stadium.
Yeah. Tony left field. Oh, but then Mandy that's probably not Angela and Wright though. I would say maybe Mandy and Wright. He definitely went more offensive this season, but I don't know about the defense with this one.
Yeah, this is definitely tricky. Yeah, but we'll see how he does with Brett Olson, though. That's always feels like that only JY can do okay with Brett Olson.
I'll have to pass the torch.
Yep.
Whenever I think of Brett Olson, I just think of JY, and vice versa. When I think of JY, I think of Brett Olson.
Mm-hmm. All right. Go Bombers.
So that's that division. So let's see. What do we think as far as the order for who's going to possibly win this division? You think Freak Show takes it?
I'm going to go with the dark horse. I'm going to say Shuli.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like that team. I like the Pirates too. So I don't know. I'll just play Switzerland today.
I think that I don't know how good Shirley's gonna do offline yet. So that's kind of the hard thing. Is it's hard to predict.
Yeah.
Predict that, but kind of I think Freak Show takes it, but I'm kind of curious to see the Pirates take this one. I think that would make some interesting storylines.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Kind of the dark horses I have for the American League is Question Monkey. I think he might throw a wrench into everyone's predictions.
I think if that's going to happen, then Chico Papas will have to be putting up MVP numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Chico can do that.
At Playground, for sure. Anywhere, but yeah, for sure.
But I think it probably goes Freak Show. I think actually the order of the AL is how they are listed here. I think that's how it's going to go.
All right.
But Question Monkey and Swilly might flip, but I'm high on the Pirates this season. I'm on the bandwagon or the ship.
The West Coast Pirates. Mm-hmm.
So next up, you got the AO East, starting with Andrew, new league official. Actually have 2 new league officials in this division.
Yeah, we do.
I think this team is not finalized. I think he's gonna, because he's been putting Matthew on the trade block for a couple days. I think he's just gonna pick up somebody else.
Mm-hmm. I think this is another team that started their draft really strong. I mean, those first 3 pieces are great TCA defensive, like TCA pieces and defensive pieces. I mean, none of them are home run hitters, but they're all huge arms. And obviously, Jessica runs well, but huge arms and can all hit the wall. And don't run terribly. Juan and Jeff don't run terribly. So those are huge. I think Alexis is another good piece, not as strong as of a defensive piece, but runs well and can blast the wall. So I like it. Those bottom ones, a little dicier, but not awful. Is Matthew the only person he's been shopping?
He also said Gale. I don't know if he'll get any takers on it.
Might have to give up Derek or Adam to get some more value, because I don't know if Gale has that much value.
Can he afford to give up Derek?
Also working against him is A's and JY said that Gale was the weak spot in this team, and now if he tries to trade her, nobody wants her.
That's not a bad kit, though. Yeah, people listen to the masses. No one wants to think for themselves anymore. So Derek probably starts for him, right?
Probably.
Alexis can play wherever, but Derek and he'd be fine. I mean, they're a real similar kid, so wherever he ends up probably wouldn't be too bad. Does Wassersauce catch for him?
Has to. 100 arm.
I think I'd let Juan do it, though, and use her with some more speed out in the field.
Where does Jeff catch?
Yeah, or him.
You could use any of those.
Yeah,
3.
I think Jeff. I think Jeff catches.
Yeah, I think that plays, and then one of them plays shortstop. I'd probably put one of them in short and one of them in left.
But 100 arm, 100 stamina. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean he's the goated catcher, or he and she. But it's just one of those things where like you have the options to not use her there.
It's kind of like the thing with Jeter. Like Jeter's like the GOAT shortstop, but you could put Jeter at catcher, but nobody does.
Yeah, or in the outfield.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those kind of things. Like they're really, really good at here, but if you have other players, they might be better just at that position. Do you put them somewhere else so that your overall team is better, even though that's not necessarily their best position?
I also feel like shortstop's harder to be really good at than catcher. So I think that's why Jeter never gets moved, because having an elite shortstop is harder to find than just having somebody that throws the ball to second, third base.
Yeah, maybe you put Jessica at shortstop then. Juan, like left field or right field.
Anju, I hope you find a trade.
Yeah, I don't really like this team. I don't like the bottom half like at all.
This is a tin can
one bag.
You said?
Yeah, tin can, yep.
So at least nobody's slower than 6, so they're gonna grounder their way on base.
Yep. They'll be okay at home. They will be. All those are pretty underwhelming defensive pieces, though, at the bottom half of this team. But Gale isn't.
Yeah, I guess, but we'll just see how they put everything together and how they performed.
Gale was a steal for this team, though, so anyone that has her is just lucky.
You think that Gale in like the 7th round is a steal?
Yeah, I'd probably take her in the 5th. So anyone that's looking to trade for her, maybe, consider yourself lucky.
I heard that Gale's parents have a couple yachts as well, so.
Yeah. Weinman sounds like it's a local grocery chain, so I could see them owning a bunch of grocery stores in their town.
Yeah, where do you think they get all the orange slices from?
That's it. All right. Next, we got Cello.
Now, how much of this team did Cello actually draft, or did he draft any of it?
I think more than his last season.
Mm-hmm. He's been kind of quiet, I feel like.
Gets in, makes the pick, gets out.
Yep, nothing wrong with that.
This team is interesting because it's not like his last season's team where it had was like totally defense focused. So, and he did well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe he wants to score a bunch of runs.
So I don't know necessarily, like, I think it's a solid team. I just don't know how well he will do with it.
I think, honestly, it's gonna be a really good team. It's not as like defensive heavy because like obviously any team with Amir is not, but he's got some offense on this team.
Mm-hmm.
So no pitching. Who starts for him? Jody into Jack.
Yeah, there is no pitching.
Maybe
No,
Perry.
there's no pitching.
Perry with his 100 slow ball.
Yeah, Perry and
Because the thing is that you have to worry about, you don't want Anna to come in. So
right.
if you start Perry, it moves everyone down a spot.
Oh, that's smart. He didn't come in until 15. Yep, that's smart. Perry into Jack into Jody. Ezra catch.
I think I just found a
Dawn in the outfield. Where's Anna? Short or third?
Anna third, Ahmed first.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. Amir and right, just throw him out there.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa short. I think it works. It worked for me last year. It's not ideal, but it's viable.
Because you definitely don't want Ahmed at short.
No, it's got to be either Anna or Lisa.
Yeah, I think Lisa.
Maybe Jody, but it's Anna or Lisa probably.
Lisa shortstop, Anna third.
Yeah, and then Ezra catch, Jack two bag probably. So Perry into Jack at second with Jody in left or right. Yeah, that makes sense. I like this team. So
yeah, we'll just see how well he does with it. Got the cons, so
yep.
Yeah, lot to score a lot of runs, and he wasn't a big run scorer last year. But that may have just been lineup composition.
Yeah, and it's not a negative defensively by any means.
And this team is at Parks Department number 2, so they should be able to score some runs there.
Pitching's a question mark, but yeah, but you really only have you have the 3 home run hitters actually, and Anna will put some balls out there too. But Ahmed and Amir and Perry will all put quite a few out probably.
Yeah, I think I like this team. I'm more
I like it.
Intrigued to see how he does with this team. But I think as far as roster, it's good.
Yep, good to have you back, Jello.
Next up, we got Loba. He made a trade for Caffey Wolf. He got the Wolf pack back, he said. So, no, he's happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
He also tried to get some same pieces that he had last season. Because he also had Ingrid last season.
His 9th rounder is 3rd to last in ADP, which is so crazy.
Yeah, Lorelei stock's been plummeting.
It's such a funky kit is the only reason.
But yeah, that might be the 9th rounder of the year if there was an award.
Mm-hmm.
But those top 3 speedsters.
Derek Caffey and Star. Yep, I was just looking at.
Does he play at dirt yards? That should be fun. You just spread them out in the lineup, and then you're assured to get somebody on base every inning.
Doesn't have that much power though, other than Lance and Isabel.
Couple big bats. No, he doesn't. And then but Lorelei at dirt will be super viable. It's just defensively and stamina and the relief value, but
this is going to be a grounder ball team for sure, and use the bounces.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because Loba likes online dirt yards where there are no bounces.
That is true.
So he goes Kathy catch, Jeter short, Star left, Lance second.
Ingrid center.
Yeah.
Billie Jean has to be first.
Yeah.
Lance might be starting pitcher.
Who's that?
Lance might be the starting pitcher.
Oh yeah, that probably makes sense. Lance into Isabel. You put Isabel at second?
Yeah, probably.
Lorelei, no arm. Dom Lowe probably plays right. Yeah, so having 3 people with no arm. So obviously Star will play the outfield, but Lance and Lorelei, one of them's going to have to be in the outfield because you can't have a 14 or a 22 arm. Well, unless you start Lorelai at second.
Having Isabel be your second reliever is not, or your first reliever is not ideal. I think their pitching is a little bit funky.
Maybe he starts Isabel into Lance and right or something. Lorelai at second. Dom Lowe at third base.
Lorelai would be a good starting pitcher if her stamina was at 9.
Right.
Or do you just start her anyway and see what happens?
Well, the issue is you don't know. I mean, with those two having the same relief prio, you don't know where she pushes to.
That's true.
One of those two has to start.
I would probably start Lance on the mound because it almost hides his fielding arm.
Mm-hmm. And then you push him to right field.
Yeah.
Because you can't put Laurel. I mean, Lorelai's not slow. You could put her out there, but she's going to get gassed and has no arm. I'd put her at second.
Yeah, I think Isabel has to play right field.
It's a solid team, though. And he's a good player, so I bet he'll have some success. So that really
He'll put up some runs.
Oh, yeah. And he has a really strong core.
So we'll see what Lobo does for this one. Then the last in that division is you, Wizard.
Me.
This team sucks.
I agree.
It's just the worst. It has everyone on this team is absolutely terrible except for Ricky Johnson.
Hey, you guys, this is a super duper team, okay?
I'd see what you did there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember how I got a second pick into the first round. I don't remember who was shopping, but my original plan was I wanted Kenny and Mondesi to be my core and could have done that, but Maryland fell, and obviously Mondesi is a really strong defensive piece, but Maryland is, proven. And so went with Kenny and Maryland. And then just because I wanted people to hate me, drafted Randy to pair with them. And yeah, so the whole idea was defense, and at Dirt Yards, also people that could get on base. So we brought Trent back. Trent will be viable at Dirt. Francesca was just all around. Ace hated Bobby, but I was like, I need a single power bat. So I drafted the dude that ended Nate and I's season. And then round 7, Ricky. And yeah, so the idea was really defense mostly, speed and defense. And we did okay.
Tell them about your big brain move with the defense.
Yeah, so JY gets credit for this, but we're going to start Ricky, which pushes we're going to go Ricky pitcher, Randy first base, which will push Kenny Lofton's entry into the mound one down. So he will now be the fourth pitcher, not the third pitcher. So it should go Ricky into Randy into Bobby Bullgreen, and then Kenny if it gets to that. So that's the play. We are putting Francesca Whitaker in center field, which she's not slow, but we're putting Kenny and Fernando around her. So yeah, anyways, that's the team. I'm a little nervous about not having power bat, but I think the defense will be strong enough to keep us in a lot of games.
So are you putting Trent at catcher?
Yeah, Trent catcher in both leagues, actually.
Now, I noticed that Trent did fall a lot sooner than he usually does, so I think that's probably made it even more intriguing for you to pick him up.
I just thought, on dirt, he's going to be... I mean, at Tin Can Alley, he was viable too, but on dirt, being a ground ball hitter, he is going to find some success, and he's a really strong defensive piece. So, yeah, I mean, it was just, I'm going to get on base some with him, and he's going to be a staple defensively. And on a team where we already have some speedy defenders in Maryland and Kenny, I was like, Trent fits that role or fits that bill. So, yeah, it was kind of an easy decision to bring him in.
And who is your 9th rounder, redacted?
No.
Nate Kowalski.
Yep. The one thing 01 does not have over 03 is all the power bats go quicker in 01. And I think that's due to the higher ceiling pros they have, or the higher power pros they have. So there's just no options there. We were at the point where it was Terry and Bullgreen were the only bats over like 80. And I got so nervous about not having a big bat that I was like, I'm just going to draft him, even though I don't love their kit, but he should hit some home runs. So
we'll see if you can hit more home runs than Uriah did.
probably not.
Oh no, that run was just crazy.
Can't wait to see the Wombats versus the Marlins on dirt yards with the final score 50-49.
Yeah.
Dueling 50s. Let's go.
We'll see. I don't know if this team can put up 50, but we got some people we enjoy playing with, and yeah. So this isn't champion Ricky or champion Trent, but we enjoy playing with a lot of these guys, so it should be fun.
I think it's going to be a good team, but I just think it might be a little bit different than what you're used to playing with.
It's honestly kind of similar to my 03 team from last year, where my best bat was Uma Morris, my best power bat, who I didn't have a lot of success with, and then the Floyds were my next best power bat. So we didn't have any power last year either, and it worked. And so I think that's kind of what I'm hoping to re-emulate. Now we're at dirt, but we've got some really strong defensive pieces, so I'm hoping that kind of carries us.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. You got Ricky Johnson, so that means your team's going to do great.
It's all that matters. We got Fella.
So that does it for this team. I think that I think it's going to be between you and Loba for who takes this division.
I would agree.
I could see. I don't necessarily know which one I would pick at this point, but I think both of you are going to be 1 and 2, and then I think Cello gets third and Andrew gets last in the division.
It should be good. It should be a pretty strong division too. I don't think it's as strong. These are all really good divisions in 01, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think Loba's definitely got probably the strongest team. I like our chances, but I like Loba's team too, and I like Cello's team.
So that does it for the American League. Moving on to the National League West. Got a rookie. I think this is the first. The second rookie, because Schwilly's technically a rookie, even though I don't think of him as a rookie because of the being in online. First rookie as far as not playing in an official season of either league. Halo, one of Loba's friends, did pretty well in some of the side seasons, I believe.
Yep, he was the runner-up in name games.
This is a really interesting team to me. Is the relief pryos on this team is absolutely insane. They're almost all over 200. He's got. I think this team's going to be fun to play with. He has 200 bats and Lindsay. So obviously, I think. Well, I don't know, man. I don't even know. I guess. Low stamina, high relief prio, and they don't run particularly well. But this is, on paper, this team looks really scary.
I think he should have stuck harder to the all power bats.
Mm-hmm.
He had, I think he had 2 others that he got rid of through trades, or at least one, because his 9th rounder was Rose, and then he was like, she can't actually hit that well, so he dropped her, and then
yeah.
Oh, this one wasn't a trade, but he took Rosanna, which didn't seem to fit with the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rosanna was I need some more speed, and I'm panicking, so I'm going to draft her.
Oh, no, I remember what it was. He drafted Rafael Hendricks, and then everyone was like, why'd you do that? And so he undid and drafted Kurt Schilling instead.
Mm-hmm. They're definitely slow as a team, but they're at Steel, and they got a lot of potential to hit a lot of bombs.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that top 5 is going to be really good for offense. Rosanna can get on base. Clinker can get some good hits. Schilling and Harding are going to be pretty much black holes, though.
Yeah, but you don't really even... You can afford one or maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they aren't anywhere close. What's the defense look like here, though?
Oh, he did submit a lineup. I have the defense.
So Cordova, No, he still can't catch. Actually, he could catch Cordova. He wouldn't come until 4th, and he could make it 5th if he started somebody else.
Yeah, he's got Cordova catching. He's got Kurt starting pitcher.
Ooh.
He needs to change that, in my opinion.
The outfield is Lindsay, Rosanna, Joan, and then
Joan and
third
Wright.
base. Yeah, Joan and Wright. Third base, Colleen. Second base, Angelique. First base, Sophie, and shortstop, Davy.
Okay. So he starts Kurt, and it's Kurt to second for Angelique. Colleen is at third, you said?
Yeah.
So Angelique pushes to third, which she's slow, but she's got the arm. She's got enough arm for it. And then Marty.
I think
Colleen catcher is an off lead there, and if she regains some stamina.
This is one case where the relief pitching points are so close together that you almost can't predict it, because one person makes a long throw and then they're too tired, and then the order is all messed up. But I think his hope is that Angelique comes in first and then switches with Colleen. That may not happen every game.
I think I'd almost put Angelique in right field and let Kurt go out there instead of having Joan out there. Like, let Joan play second base, or third for that matter. She's got a decent arm. I just think that might come back to bite him, having her out there. I can't even remember where I've played Jennifer before. She might have played right one season. She played third for me one season. That was rough too. But Kurt's where's Rosanna playing?
Center, I think, right? You said, right?
Center field, yeah.
So Lindsay in left, Rosanna in center. Yeah. I think I'd push Kurt out there, but that's none of my business. So, because even if he's gassed, he'll have, I know he's got to regen. He'll have the arm to get it in, but great offensive looking team.
I mean, with Joan, you hit 15 to 20 home runs and then say, who cares about the defense?
That's her. But the Mightiest Melonheads is a really cool brand too, so excited to see how they do.
Yeah, I like the press release and website or whatever that they made. That was cool.
Yep, clever.
Always like to see more stuff like that. And you got Marco with the yarn as well. Shout out to the yarn,
dude. Love the yarn.
We are fans of the yarn on this program.
It's a banger every time. No one is safe from the yarn's reach. All right, we got HC next.
Yep.
This is another team that may not be complete. He's still shopping. Time's ticking.
Mm-hmm.
Tick tock.
One thing I'll say is, a lot of times, and HC has reached out to me, but a lot of people put those messages in, and maybe they are searching for offers, just not for me. But I feel like people just put those messages out there and then don't try to create any trades. They just hope somebody comes to them with a trade.
Yes, correct.
So that's why.
Shots fired.
I mean, I won't name names, but somebody who I've spoken with, they were big on, like, I can get things done because I'm willing to put the brain work in. Some people just want it done for them. But that's not about HC. HC has he has tried a couple different things with me. So I was just, a lot of those people that keep sitting on the block. I think Bates, was it you that made a comment about that in the trade channel or trade thread? Like, everyone's putting these players on the block that nobody wants. I don't know. Somebody did, but
that's another. I love the friendly trash talk. It's another thing that really makes the league special.
Yeah, the meme Eights posted to was really good about the what you get and what I get.
Oh yeah,
you get a player I overdrafted, and you get, and I get a player you overdrafted. I thought that was good.
That sums up all of it right there.
Yeah. All right, so we got the Pinkies here.
I guess it is fitting that they do have Courtney Valentino and Earl Abbott,
right?
Since they were on the Pink Sox.
Oh yeah.
Sarah Maxwell, who's arguably better than Bonds, got a lot of speed players, because you got Whitney, Earl, Courtney, Sarah, Maria. Annie has decent speed.
What's the field? Oh, Tink Canal. Yeah, this team is doing what the Devil Rays want to do. I think they'll do it better.
Yeah. I don't know why he wants to trade Earl. I think Earl fits just fine on this team. He wants relief back too? No, actually, well, not who he asked me for. I think he works well on this team. I think he fits just fine. And you can use him as an outfielder because he doesn't come in. He's the fourth one in. Like, just let him run around the outfield.
When he was trading with me, he asked about Wendy, who is Ivan Rodriguez. So I think what he wants is
An arm.
someone who will exactly replace Nan once she's done pitching. So like when they switch, the fielder still has a strong arm at whatever position he's thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
But not very many of those exist in the roster.
No. Yeah, he asked about Francesca Whitaker with me, but she's not a reliever. So I like this team a lot, though, especially Tinkan Alley. I mean, 2 weak arms, but whatever. Parker mashes and Earl runs so well. Like, I think it plays. Those swing powers, though, of the last 4 are gonna be a little rough.
I think the biggest thing is, does he have enough people that can hit the wall?
Right. He's got 4.
Mm-hmm. So that might be enough. It's going to be how well can he put it together. But I think it is a better built team for TCA than like what Andrew is trying to do.
I love this team. I really do, and I don't think he needs to get rid of Earl, but that's just my opinion. So
yeah, I think it's a solid team for a rookie.
Annie one bag.
Yeah, Annie 1B probably, and low relief points.
So does Sarah catch, we think?
Yeah, Sarah catches because he has enough high rope RP so that he doesn't have to worry about Sarah coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, this will work. Not every team that works, but in this case, does.
I'd probably play Courtney at short. Or, yeah, probably Courtney. Maria left.
Whitney and right.
Yeah.
Or Chucky and right.
Or Earl. That's kind of the issue is he's probably struggling to figure out how to put that puzzle together because I'd play Earl in the outfield. You need Chucky's arm at third probably, or Whitney's arm. But if you put Whitney there, she's coming in second or third. Probably, I mean, third base on paper. I think Chucky's got to play third base.
Yeah, makes sense.
Good looking team. HG, glad to have you. Good luck finding the trade partner.
May have to settle.
Not a bad team if that's what he has to settle with, though.
No.
Next up, we got Lil Waz, has been just killing it lately as far as all the side seasons and the online league. Currently in the finals for the junior league, just been destroying everyone. Though he did lose. He lost his first game yesterday in the World Series. First game he lost all season.
Oh.
Wow.
To who?
To JTS.
Burger Planet?
JTS.
Oh, JTS. Oh, yeah, he played Burger in the semis.
Yeah, JTS beat Burger to make the finals.
We don't have to get in the weeds. JTS only had 1 or 2 losses on the season, though, right?
Yeah, JTS only had 1 in the regular season. I think he had 1 or 2.
Tara.
Yeah, yep. And Crazy's like, what the heck are you talking about?
All right, sorry. rBBL. Yeah, right. rBBL, sorry.
I think he might be a lot of people's pick to win the entire thing this season.
So nope.
But we'll see how well he does. He does have Sally Dobbs though, so that usually means good things if you have Sally Dobbs on your team.
What I don't like is that Sally Dobbs is the highest rated player according to ADP.
Yeah.
That's just last year's ADP. But what that means is there's no star power. There's no super stud.
I agree. He's got, I mean, those first 4 for sure. 5, I mean, those are good pieces. You know, Nomar clone, Cal clone, and V. Lee. Does Barbara Jones give the stamina boost as well?
No, she does not.
And then Nikki. Lot of good bats on this team. And Lowell's playing at Ekman. Yeah, this is a well-built team. Only 3 weak-ish arms, and they're not even that weak. And a lot of good bats.
on the stream with A's and JY. They told him to make George the pitcher, and that was not his plan. And then they were kind of going back and forth on it. But I think he wanted who do you want to pitch? I think he had Brenda pitch, and then Sally played first base, and then they would switch after the first relief.
I don't hate that because otherwise, who plays first?
You have Nikki play first. He's got 100 coordination, or unless he's catching.
He's got to be catching.
Yeah, Nikki catches.
Because that's his best arm. I guess you could have Barbara play first, but that's just kind of a waste of an arm.
Yes.
Kimmy's a 2 height, right?
Yes.
I think Kimmy plays third base on this team.
Probably, yeah.
Who's in the outfield? Artie, V. Lee, and Barbara, maybe?
Yeah, I think Barbara. Because I think he said George is second base.
Yeah, that's where I would put him.
So what is Uma short?
Short?
He had Uma third base, and then Ace was like, "No, don't do that. That's dumb." But didn't really give much explanation.
You could start Uma and get a similar. I don't know what what they said exactly on the review, but you could start Uma and still get the same. Because I think it does make sense. You play Brenda at first, but you make it to where she doesn't come in until they've scored 10 runs because that's not going to happen that often at Ekman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what I would do: is either start Uma or George, and then Brenda one bag, Sally where in the outfield. Do we think?
I think you'd want to put Sally in the outfield.
I just make it yeah, with her coming in first. Even if you go start George into Sally at second, but it's a good team. I think he'll have fun playing with it too. But yeah, no star power.
I think it's going to depend on how well can the 80s power bats do at Ekman.
Because he doesn't run that well. That's the negative. So an Ekman's a graveyard.
Because like if it was at a different field that was more homer friendly, they'd probably be fine. But sometimes those 80 power bats can be a little bit hit and miss at Ekman because they're just so deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the defense is like top tier compared to like what we've seen in the past at teams built for Ekman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they'll give up more runs than like, let's say like compared to like how Cello's team was last season where like it was like just really tough to score at Ekman against them. I don't think that I think that this team probably will be giving up. They're going to hope to be limiting teams to the 8 to 12 range and then outscore them versus being able to win games strictly because of the defense. I don't think this team is going to win any games strictly because of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a good player, so I think that I think he'll be able to make this roster work.
Yeah.
Last in the division, we have the return of one of the OG GOATs, P. Sanchez.
This is definitely a P. Sanchez team.
So what was P. Sanchez's first team, or is there any P. Sanchez stories that would be good to tell everyone?
He's the king of the doubles. If you go in the record book and look at doubles, it's just him. One time, I gotta look it up. But back in the days of no rules and grounders were king, he'd always have somebody on second base. Where is it? Okay, one season with the Kansas City Royals in season 3, he hit 390 doubles.
That's so crazy.
That's crazy. Even with cheese, that's.
How many hits are teams getting nowadays in full seasons?
Yeah,
Total
that might be more. That might be more than the whole league. Well, let's look at last season, 2001. With last season in 2001, the entire league hit 646 doubles.
Okay,
and he had 390.
Oh wow!
That's so 646 has an average of 30 per team. And he had 13 times that.
That's wild.
But anyway, he's going to try to recreate that with no cheesiness. He does have a lot of speed, but not exactly doubles hitter.
Where is he? He is at Playground. I really like this team too, just at first glance. Arms are the issue. because like he's got people to get on base in Cindy and Olga and Shane and Grace, and then he's got power. Like it's a good team, but man, they run well. But yeah, the arms are kind of scary. Nah, they're not terrible, but they're not.
His outfield is Cindy, Shane, and Grace.
Grace, Cindy.
That's his outfield.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to cover a lot of ground, though.
Yeah.
It's just the balls that get over their head. I mean, but definitely potential. So is Grace pitching for him? Oh, no, Grace in the outfield. So does that mean Stan's pitching?
No, Judy is the pitcher.
Oh, you should tell him Stan.
He can listen to the podcast if he wants that advice.
Yeah. I'll just say, hey, go look at the awards from last season and then pitch Stan.
Somebody
Stan
did
the man.
Somebody.
I think Person is legitimate.
Yeah. It is? But I like it. I think this team has potential for sure. It's just going to be if the defense holds up.
Cheryl catcher, Zoe short, Molly third.
Molly's playing first. Stan's playing third.
Stan can play anywhere. That's fine. That works. You said Molly's playing first?
Yeah.
That's so weird. 90 arm at first base? Well, I'm not going to question the man. We know the success he's had.
No, I want to see him get 50 doubles of Cindy Chang without cheese.
A few seasons ago, he could.
Times have changed. He's like hyperbolic time chamber came back and was like, "What is this?"
He came back from the dungeon of not being allowed to play backyard baseball.
That season with all the doubles, the individual leader, all the ties, Grace and Keisha both had 51 doubles by themselves.
Oh my god.
That's just Keisha. I get Keisha is good for doubles. Yeah, I think P. Sanchez is going to do good as long as he can not cheese.
We've seen him before without cheese. He'll still be good.
All right.
Yeah, but I think that this division is going to be tough but I do think it comes down to Lil Waz and P. Sanchez battling it out, which is really tough for both HC and Halo. Cause I like both of their teams too, but I think I trust P. Sanchez and Lil Waz a little bit more.
So this one they could finish in any order.
Think so.
Yeah, if you had to pick right now, do you think P. Sanchez takes it, or do you think? I
don't know if I can pick one just yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be very close.
Yeah, this division I think could go in a lot of different ways.
All right, NL Central.
Yep. Another online transfer rule again.
We could review him and Viscery at the same time because they're the same team.
Yeah, let's do that.
They had the exact same team.
Wait, what?
All the players are clones. Yeah.
Yeah, the exact same team.
Are you serious?
They're both the Pink Sox, and they're both playing at Dirt Yards, and they drafted the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this on purpose?
That's why they didn't talk about it in the
That's
recap
funny.
either. It's like, we have the same thoughts.
I didn't realize that was the exact same team. That's funny.
So now that means that the team that does better is all going to be based on how good the coach plays.
Or the schedule makers.
That's true.
Well, you have to play everybody.
But yes, home versus away makes a difference.
Home versus away, yeah, maybe. But anyway, for the meme theme that they went with, their team didn't end up awful, but could have been better.
Yeah, you got Lena and Kylie, Tony clones. Are they planning on playing them at catcher?
I think so.
No, are they going to have the same AI defense?
I think so. I don't know if they decided or not, but I think they will.
Because I mean, if they're gonna do that, they have to at this point, right? They have to do the exact same thing. They need to even okay, if you're always gonna swing power on this player, you always gotta swing power at this player. Do everything the same. If you're gonna throw a fastball,
The one thing that jumps out here is that they have absolutely no pitching. They have Ramona and Ray, decent, but then after that it's Milton
It's the
and
Dimitri
Hayes.
clone.
Yeah, Dimitri Clone, Mo Vaughn's gonna be throwing a bunch of innings. It's not very much in the pitching department. But
It's
we'll
a
see
cool
how much
idea.
of that makes sense.
Mo Vaughn 100 Stam though.
Yeah.
Mo Vaughn, the starting pitcher. I don't know about that.
It's really like there's a couple decent arms. There's some okay arms. They don't run that terribly. It's really kind of like an offensive team. Like they've got some good line drive hitters and then two big power bats, but we'll see. I mean, they're both good players, so I'm sure that they'll have some success, but it's not a super overpowered looking team.
Now it'd be really funny if they ended up with the same record.
And they had to play a tiebreaker game to get into the playoffs.
And then the league
that would be
the
great.
league would explode.
And then the game goes to it has to be off of the third tiebreaker.
Coin flip.
Rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
All right.
Who's
Then
next?
we
Enough
got
about the Twins.
Bobby and the Blue Angels
Release
are back.
the crabs, the dancing crabs.
That reminds me of the Amanda show with the lobsters back in the day. All right.
This team is going to try and hit some bombs.
Yep, this team is definitely offense focused.
And they don't play at Ekton this time.
Nope. I think this team plays at Parks.
Yeah.
But it's just, I guess he's got Betty, I think it was Ace that said it. Why draft Betty and not Bobby?
Oh, because he is Bobby.
Right. Nate drafted Nate.
Oh, you're right. He was on the board. I don't know.
I tried to trade it to him.
Only thing I can think of is that Bobby was trying to be a bro to me and not because I know I don't like Bobby. I don't know. He might have been trying to be nice to me and not do that.
They're gonna struggle defensively. Mark's got a 63 arm, but surely Mark plays first, right?
Yeah.
And then he's got two arms. And Felix's isn't an awful arm.
Yeah.
Like Mark, but Donald catches.
So they could be eviscerated by grounders.
Yeah, right. Actually, Tina probably catches, right?
No, I think Donald's going to.
Okay. Tina short.
Donald.
Because Tina doesn't have any aggression.
Well, that's right. But being at Parks, he'll be able to ground her too with some of those folks. Donald, Tina, especially. So
the other thing about this defense is that Marcellus is the second pitcher.
Ooh.
No matter who you start.
Right. Unless you start Marcellus.
Yeah, bite the bullet.
But yeah, just so because Betty, anyone with that, Betty or Bobby, you have to worry about where they're going after that. So does that mean Marcellus starts at second? Well, either way, you either start Marcellus at second or he ends up there after Betty comes in anyway, probably.
Or you might just say, screw it and just try to score as many runs as you can. Yeah,
that's going to be gonna have to. I like it. You get the four big power bats and you got some speed. Stu's automatic singles, so he'll have chances at Parks. The arms scare me, but overall, I think it plays. You guys ready to talk about Nick Foles' dupe?
Nick Foles' dupe? What happened with this?
So Nick Foles is season 5 championship team, right, Aids? Was it 5 or 6 that he won?
Season 5.
Yeah, with the Philadelphia Athletics, Nate. And we haven't... I mentioned it in the chat, and I think one person maybe commented on it, but we haven't seen that combination of adjective and team since. So it's just funny to me. And Martian Man had no idea. Which made it even funnier.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Athletic. I think that was isn't that who you beat in the finals to win your championship, Crazy?
No, that I beat them in the what's it called, the league championship series, the one before the World Series.
In 6?
Okay.
Yeah, season 6.
So he played 6 too?
Yeah.
I think that was like the first like official game of rBBL that I watched was you versus him in the playoffs.
I remember there was a crazy play. There's a crazy play where somebody on his side, somebody threw out Ahmed at the plate and like he lost by 1 run or something. I forget who the fielder was that did it, but I remember that.
He is one that I tried to invite back, and I'm convinced he doesn't exist because I couldn't find him no semblance of him.
He fell victim to the worst plague that any rBBL coach can fall victim to, and that's marriage.
Oh no!
Ever since he got married, he hasn't.
What that reminds me of is the only thing worse than a rapist. The Vine. You guys know that Vine?
Oh yeah, a child.
He's a child. The other thing about this I just realized, which is super fitting, is that Martian Man is like the new delayer of the draft, King Delayer, which Nick Foles was known for.
Although that might be less intentional on Martian.
No, and Martian's always a good sport. Like, I just think it's funny. But anyways.
The big Rockies fan.
Yeah, he was sniped in the team selection because he was behind whoever took the Rockies.
Which was
Toast,
yeah.
Anyway, as for this team, I don't think they're going to do very good.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they have Tiffany and Todd.
Yeah, they're awful.
It's got some pieces, though.
But they got Vinny the Gooch, so they're going to be great.
Vinny the Gooch will be fun to watch.
It will be. He's got pitching, though.
He does have a lot of pitching. But they're all the same skill, so we don't know who's going to come in second.
No.
So the defense, they get all discombobulated.
Right. And Todd and Tiffany literally do one thing well, and it's pitch. And this team's slow. The top half has some okay arms. Their best arm is going to pitch right away. Or maybe third. Well, third if they don't start Jay. And anyways, I think they'll win a couple games.
I think the pitching is going to be really weird because Ivan, Tiffany, and Todd all the same sub value on relief points.
So if Rodriguez catches, and in a perfect world, none of them lose any stamina, technically you could.
He'd be fourth.
Yeah, he would be fourth because it goes in order of position when they check for who's subbing in next. So 2 are tied. It'll go to the outfield first, then infield, then catcher will be last.
So you start Tiffany or Todd, Jay comes in second, and then the other one hopefully comes in third.
Maybe.
Not a risk I'm willing to gamble on.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, I think this team is going to be fun, but I don't think they're going to win much.
Well,
the funny thing about this team is that when he wasn't getting the ping, he got auto-drafted Mikey, and he's like, I don't want Mikey, because he said he's a good power hitter, but not at Playground Commons with the big right field fence. And so he traded them to the Pirates, who play at Playground Commons also.
Dude, Mikey hits the ball way over that fence.
Yeah. Well, he got Debbie Dingers instead, so she'll have to provide some power.
This is we haven't looked at y'all's East yet, but this might be the weakest division I've seen in the O1 so far, just with team construction and all that. But
yeah,
interesting. I mean, all good dudes. That's what it's all about.
So who takes the division?
I think it's going to depend on who can meme the hardest. Because it feels like that there's 3 meme teams, and then Bobby's team is offense heavy. So do the memes outweigh the offense? Is the question.
I don't know.
I like Bobby's 03 team better. Bobby, he's gonna have to hit a bunch of bombs with this team, but
Like, I want us to say that Vizuri's going to win because it's Vizuri, but then Vizuri might say this team sucks and quit halfway through the season. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think that the other thing is like that with the increased playoffs, which I don't really like, but probably going to have two players from this division make the playoffs, I think, depending on how the defense goes.
No, I think there's a high chance that we get multiple wild cards from the NL West.
I can see that. But we'll see. There's so many good players. It's hard to decide like who's going to do what. The last division though for the NL East is has your team crazy. So is your team as crazy as your name is?
All right. No, I think they're pretty mild.
That's a shame.
We'll see how this team ends up. I'm really upset I didn't get Mark McGuire, but in that late third round, everybody wanted him, so I would have had to give up more on the back end.
is that where you were going instead of Wendy? That was the plan. Those big three bats.
Wendy, actually, this draft, a lot of people fell, and I just took them because they fell without much more thought. Like, for example, Wendy says 68 ADP. I drafted her 122nd.
Oh my god! So you took Luann third?
No, I took Samuel third because I wanted to hit her before they all got scooped up. So I reached a little bit on Samuel, but I was actually that was early fourth that I got Samuel. So I got
Those
Samuel
power
ADP
bats.
fourth.
Okay.
And then Luann was another one that fell. Her ADP says
Oh yeah, I remember. She
88.
fell almost to 100.
I got her 117th.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I remember
And
because
then and Murray was another one where I picked Murray up in the mid 8th, whereas the clone got picked in the 7th. And I was up and I was like, I'll think of something else for catcher. But then he came back around an entire round later. I was like, okay. So this team, I'm hoping that my draft steals are steals and not just mirages.
Well, you're not at. Are you at Steel?
I am indeed at Steel Stadium.
So maybe they could be steals at Steel.
That'd be great. But yeah, I picked the second draft slot just because I wanted a super high draft pick because I don't really ever get those. So I took Henri. And then
it's always fun to get a banger like that.
And then my second pick wasn't until 47 because it's like almost opposite of round 1. So then I had to trade. I wanted to trade up because I wanted a second stud. I didn't want to have to wait all the way until pick 47. So I traded back up in the first round and got Zenon. And I almost got McGuire, but I was about 3 picks away.
Yeah, it looks solid. Y'all aren't real fast, but the offense should be fine. And your two bad bats run so well. Like I like it a lot. And good arms. Obviously, they're not crazy 03 arms, but
We'll get to that.
Right, but I like it. What's your plan relief wise?
I think it's going to be a coin flip because I'm going to start with Samuel starting pitcher. But then I've been playing around against my own team, and basically, if Wendy or Luann make a big throw, then the other one comes in to pitch first. So we're going to try to be prepared for all situations.
Are you catching Murray?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that, though, because that's the issue with having a Vaughn or Wendy. Like, they can't catch.
Yeah.
Unless you have Clanky. But even then.
And
yeah,
then,
I like it.
When I drafted Henri, I drafted him with the intention of him at third base. Because with no bounces and all the ground he can cover, then the grounder ball will die at my field.
So, hold on. So are you going Wendy one bag?
No, Wendy's going to play short.
Okay. So you're going with you'll have a 2 height first baseman.
I got Jocinda at first base.
Oh, you have real Jocinda. I don't know why I blanked and thought you had one of the clones. Oh, that's clutch.
The Jocinda clone is sitting on the waiver wire.
Heather or Felix?
Heather is.
Somebody
Felix
was
is on Bobby's team.
That's right. Somebody was justice for Heather this season, right?
Yeah, Oops really likes Heather.
Well, Oops could have drafted him, but he didn't want to play, so.
I agree with that. Oops, if you're listening. Season 12.
Anyway.
I told Oops I want to see a Brett Favre style career from him with 3 retirements. Hey, I like this team.
Thanks. I'm hoping to be able to score some runs. Because, scoring runs was also my motto last year on the Owen team. So I guess I should hope this team has a slightly better defense.
Mm-hmm.
The only horrible arm is Luann.
Yeah, exactly. And she does a lot of other stuff well. You got Ruth in the outfield. Stevie Two-Bag.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think it plays.
I think this will be the best team that Wendy's ever been on.
Wendy 03 is slightly better because she's A-Rod in that version.
Well, I meant Wendy/Pudge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll see how it ends up.
Because usually those teams aren't the greatest. So I think this is the best team, the best construction that we've seen that incorporates them.
The other thing about this team is that I've got a bunch of contact, so I want to try to not strike out like ever, just to see if I can do it.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I got to rely on these medium power, high contact bats to at least push it to the outfield. Because Jocinda, Murray, and Stevie, they're not going to hit bombs, but I can hope they get it past the infield.
Guess we'll have to find out.
Exactly.
I guess moving on to Ketchup Man and Hines. Where is he playing at? Tin Can Alley as well?
Yeah.
A lot of Tin Can Alley fans this season.
This is Hines' first shot at an rBBL draft. Because he played a lot of games last year, but it was as a substitute.
Mm-hmm. Got Mondesi, probably Mondesi catcher. Unless, does Vargas catcher instead?
This is the same problem that other team had. What was that? Devil Rays. Same 2 people. I think he wants Hillary catching because Mondesi's speed can cover ground.
The one thing I see right away is there's not that much pitching other than Frank. So what does he have? Jose starting?
That might not be a bad idea.
Just that speed, that one speed is just terrible.
Oh, it's that starting pitcher. Yeah.
But outside of that, really like Francis, Frank, Dimitri, Frank, Machiko. They're all really good. Vic has a role.
I just realized he has Frank, Frankie, and Francis. He should have gotten Francesco while he was at it. Or Holly Franklin.
Oh yeah. You should have told him that.
I didn't realize it until just
You had one job.
But anyway, yeah, this team they got some bats that'll hit the wall. I think Francis is the only real power threat once you get to away games. Well, Frankie's in there too.
Yeah, I like this team for TCA. It's just going to depend on the pitching
and
how well that can go. So outside of once they get to 10 runs, they really don't have a great pitcher. I think the third one is Francis. I guess that's decent for third, but then you start to have your defense unravel a little bit. But I think when you're playing at TCA, you're not too worried about defense. You're trying to score runs. So I think this team will do that and score runs.
Yeah.
So next up, we got another returning vet. We got Mav. Really excited to have Mav back in the league.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, Mav. Good dude, Mav.
What field does he have? Oh, he's got Ekman, which is too bad because he's got 3 super power hitters. But the deep center field of Ekman might rob a few.
He's got the Webbers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is another season. I think he's done this before where he says, I'll listen to almost any trade offer. And he took up some interesting trades.
Santa Mav.
Yeah. But then also Martian Man sniped him on the Weber, and then that one took a while to get resolved.
Didn't he have them in season 9 at TCA?
Yes. Wait, no, that was season 8.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that was season 8. Because that was 03.
Yeah.
He had them, though, right?
Yeah, he had them, and I remember because that was a match of the week game that I played against him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why I remember that. And it was actually, I think, the first time that Yuria let people hear his voice as well. So
The voice reveal.
that's the other that's the other reason why I remember that.
Mhm.
I think that was with Ace and Yuria commentating that. Yeah, we got Pablo though.
Anyway, this is one of those lineups that I construct where you get you put a fast person, and then you put someone that'll move him over, and then you put a power hitter because he's got about 3 of each.
Yeah.
So like you put a Weber, you put Linda, you put Pablo, and then another Weber, maybe Kenny, and then Susan, and then Thorner, Vincent, Fabian.
Like it.
Then you just want to hit 2-run home runs because the second person will get out trying to move the runner.
The only thing that really go ahead.
No, that's all I was gonna say.
The only thing that looks real dicey is relief on this team, because like I like the bats for the most part and good arms, but it gets real funky. Everybody's 165 to 185 basically. Outside
I think
of
Kenny's
Linda.
gonna pitch.
Kenny's gonna start.
Yeah, probably. But
into Potter.
Linda Pothead.
Yeah.
You could get real fancy and start Pablo pitcher.
No, that would be something.
Ooh.
Just throw heat at them for a couple innings.
No one likes hitting heat, and I don't know if y'all do.
I mean, if you could make Pablo go to second afterwards, that might be interesting. I like that.
Send it on over to Mav.
I guess I'll just listen to the podcast.
The other thing, though, is that his strongest arm is only 85. So whoever he puts that catcher, fast people can still steal.
True. It's got to be Vincent, right?
Yeah, Vincent, because of the RP.
And just he doesn't really help you a whole lot out in the field.
Yeah.
Like, not as much as the Webbers. Well, Mav, good to have you back. We missed you last season.
Yeah, we definitely missed Mav. And last up, you got Personizzle. Made the playoffs in both leagues. Got Xena and Fred. A lot of power there at the top of the lineup. Got good speed of Maynard. Also got Gary, good catcher, and Scotty. Vicky's got some good speed. I think this team is going to do well. But kind of just looking at it, it looks like I think it'll do better than it just kind of like jumps off the page based on just the names.
This team has 3 of the same players that my 0-1 Rockies had last season. I had
Scotty,
Fred,
right?
Scotty, yeah.
How'd you like Fred? Because I mean, PZ was trying everything in his power. Oh no, that was IT trying to get rid of him. But
I love Fred. He almost won MVP last year. I think he was runner-up in the AL side anyway.
Yeah, that's a good bat. So,
but yeah, I think
only thing is the pitching. Sonya pitcher, obviously, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Sonya into Aaron into yeah. I mean that. Then you can keep most of it intact.
You're the Sonya expert, Wizard.
Okay, here I'll tell you the key to success. Anyone listening, right hook.
That's all you gotta do.
That's it. Just throw right hook.
It's not even that good of a right hook. It's only a 75.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's not. It's just stamina. Having. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you could have Gary Allen because he's got a 90 right hook, but his stamina is only 25.
Dude, it's the stamp because like she keeps that her circle when you like are positioning the pitch, like it stays small most of the game. So even though it's not a great right hook, the room for error is minimal. So that's what I think what made her so good. And then obviously I just moved the ball around.
See, I don't like that. I feel like if you throw the same pitch in a row too many times, they just blast one.
For sure.
And we actually know they did do that. No. I know it's in the same, if you do it in the same location and like they can guess it. But I don't know if you throw the same pitch in a different location, if that will trigger it or not. Or if it has to be like the same location each time.
I mix up location. But I mean, with Jerry, I can't imagine that Shrewsbury was throwing more than slow ball with Jerry. Well, he's got a decent left hook, I think, but it's not great.
Yeah, I like this team a lot. I think it'll do pretty well. And Personizzle's proven that can do well in rBBL.
Last season, Personnel had one team that had bombs and one team that outran everybody. So looks like he tried to combine it. We'll see
Yeah,
if
yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I like
we'll
that.
see if combining the strengths pays out for him.
Yeah, so that does it for for all the teams.
We got to talk about the division winner of the NL East. Who do we think?
I think that I think it might be Crazy8hts, whoever that is.
I would love to get back into the playoffs,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
When was the last time you made the playoffs?
He's in.
8?
Get all my years mixed up.
The Yankees, right?
Yeah, season 8.
So it's been a minute.
Season 9, I was like 1 game away, and season 10, I was like 2 games away on both of them.
So it's been a while.
You're due.
Yeah, it means
Yeah.
you're due.
I've been trying to get too cutesy with my drafts. I gotta stick to my strengths.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting those homers.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy ball.
The last year, season 9 was like nothing like you'd ever drafted, right?
I just wanted to create the most balanced team that I could, and it turns out that they were around 7-7, which I guess I did my job.
They were perfectly balanced.
Yeah. No, I think I was actually 8-6, but that wasn't good enough to crack the postseason.
For sure.
We'll see if you can crack the playoffs this time. It should be a little bit easier to more teams, though.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, the one thing I was kind of salty about last season is that I had such a good offense, but my defense was pitiful. So I had the 4th most runs scored behind those 3 crazy teams, Viscery, Freak Show, and Itanium. And then there's me at 4th, but I kept giving up so many runs that I couldn't win anything. So we'll hope my defense is a little better this season.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams. I don't think there's really any, not really many teams that you think that are like definitely not going to make the playoffs. So I think there's a lot of teams that have playoff potential. Definitely more than 6 in each side. So I think you could make a case for at least like 10 of the 12 on each side that can make the playoffs. So you should have a lot of
Do we dare
what?
Do we dare pick a World Series winner out of the 0-1 league? Do we dare predict that?
I know last time we did. I know for the 3 that I did with Wizard did that.
Yeah, we did the whole playoff.
Yeah, we did the whole playoffs.
I think I'll save mine for my Reddit post that I'm going to make. But if you want to give your predictions, I'd love to hear.
But as far as World Series predictions, that's tough.
There's a lot of good teams, but none of them seem that much better than the rest.
Yeah, I don't think there's any like one team that necessarily is going to think of it. I think, let's see, if I looked at who's going to make the playoffs, so I think if I had to pick 6 teams, it's that 6. I think it's like there's 7 teams, 7 or 8 teams that are going to be competing for 6 spots, but I can't figure out who I want to pick for like the 5th and the 6th spot in the AL. So it's like I don't know who to leave out, and that kind of is like a lot of it. I think it's going to come down to matchups. Really, it's like and the fields are going to be a big difference, and also like I think like once you get to that point, it comes down to who's best at Big City and Super Colossal Dome.
I think Loba's a dark horse candidate for me.
Yeah, I definitely have Loba making the playoffs for sure.
Excited to read your Reddit post, 8s.
Yeah, I don't have a prediction at this point.
I think I want to wait until everybody's finalized their roster and defense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's something that we can do kind of like maybe like quarter of the way through the season is formulate more of our predictions or something.
Redo them after a couple weeks.
Yeah. Add some more content. I'm gonna have to look into it, but I think if I had to, obviously I want to say that I'm gonna win, but I know that's probably not gonna happen. And I don't think I would predict myself to win.
predict myself to win every week and then predict a challenge.
As do I. Yes, gotta believe in yourself.
Gotta believe.
I do not do that. If I think I'm going to lose, I think I'm going to lose.
No, I never think I'm going to lose. What is it? Confidence exceeding ability.
I need more of whatever you're taking.
Alcohol.
Maybe that's why, because I'm always sober.
Liquid courage, aka liquid confidence.
Yeah, I don't have any of that.
Don't start.
I could use the confidence though. Is there any way to get the confidence felt?
Just predict
sure there's
yourself every week in the predictor challenge.
Yes, that's a start. That's the start right there. All right, boys. Well, it's been fun.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Do you know what? This is what I okay. So this is not like a legit prediction, but this is what I want to see happen. If I don't make the finals, I want to see Schlim versus Crazy in the World Series.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Throwback.
I think everybody would like that.
That's my prediction right there. Let's go with it. Let's rock it.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so that's gonna do it for the 01 side. So yeah, post your if you are sub to the Patreon, put your comments in there, or when this goes on YouTube, post your comments and predictions in there in the Discord, or give any thoughts and opinions. That's gonna do it for the 01. Tune back in to the next episode where we talk about the 03 teams. So I'll see you guys later.